Hi, I'm Michelle, and this is Someday is Here, a space to have honest conversations about growth, life, and showing up even when things still feel unfinished. I wasn't sure I was going to record this episode today. Not because I don't have something to say, but because I don't want to say it wrong. But here's what I keep coming back to. If you feel angry, scared, or overwhelmed, or maybe just a little bit off lately, you are not crazy for feeling this way, and you're not alone. There is something uniquely disorienting about seeing things with your own eyes and then being told not to believe them. Your body knows something is wrong before your brain can organize the words for it. And when that keeps happening day after day, it doesn't just make you anxious, it makes you question yourself. I know for a lot of us, what we're witnessing right now has been deeply troubling, scary. Maybe it's making us angry because we were raised to believe that all humans have value, dignity, and worth. And we are seeing some very sad and scary things going on in our world right now that we are literally seeing on our phones and on social media. And our bodies were not meant for that kind of graphic detail to be seen just scrolling on your phone. Maybe some of us are feeling grief because we've had to maybe walk away from people that we loved and we cared about because we realized that maybe our morals and our values didn't really align with those people anymore. And so we've had to make some hard decisions and choose to limit contact with people. Or in some cases, I know some people have had to cut off people completely. As a mom of children who I raised to love and honor and cherish their friends, their family, their neighbors, their communities, I know it can be a little nerve-wracking thinking of them being out there protesting and doing the things that we raised them to do, in the sense of looking out for others and, from a social justice perspective. But that doesn't make it less scary when you watch the events and the things that are going on in the news right now, because you're proud of them, but you also fear for them at the same time. Or maybe you're just tired because for the last year plus, you're waking up every day to something else. Something we never thought we'd see happen, something we never could have imagined, something we were taught were, laws or rules, or, we couldn't do these things because we had laws around them, and those laws aren't being upheld. And for a lot of us, I think there's this feeling of like, what do I do? What can I do? So we sit in anger or grief or fear. This doesn't mean that you're unstable. It means that your nervous system is responding to sustained stress. Our bodies are wired to protect us. And when an environment feels unpredictable or unsafe, your system stays on high alert. That's not failure, that's biology. One of the hardest parts of moments like this is how quickly people are told that they're overreacting, to calm down, to stop watching, to not take it so personally. But when something threatens your sense of safety, your values, or your children, that is personal. If your body feels tense, heavy, or angry, that doesn't mean you're being dramatic. It means you are paying attention. Let me say this clearly. Regulation does not mean pretending that everything is fine. It does not mean shutting down your emotions or forcing yourself to feel calm. Regulation means creating enough safety in your body so you don't disappear inside the fear. Sometimes regulation starts with saying out loud, "This is too much. This scares me. I'm angry because I care." Staying informed is different than staying flooded. You are allowed to turn it off, not because you don't care, but because your body needs a break. I know this weekend, as I saw the news about another shooting of a protester or a watcher, my body really did start to spiral, and so did my mind, because I was seeing something that I never thought I'd see, because we were supposed to have protections around these things. And there was a part of me that wanted to stay locked in on social media, the news, and the internet to see what was next and what was next and what was happening. And it's easy to get stuck in that. But the problem is when we stay stuck in those cycles, and we stay constantly integrated into the news and social media, we don't allow our bodies or our systems enough time to process what we actually seen and to create a safe enough space for ourselves to be rational in thought and to be proactive in what we want to do. So it's okay to turn it off for a little while and to do something good for yourself. For me, I find the most joy in hanging out with my family or going out in my neighborhood and talking to my neighbors or at the grocery store, making small talk or complimenting people, because that makes me feel connected. It makes me know that I'm not alone in all of this, and it allows me to have a deeper sense of community. So, here are some simple things that you can try when you start to feel a little dysregulated. Put your feet on the floor. Take your socks off, take your shoes off, put your feet on the floor. And if you can, if you're in a warm enough place, put your feet outside, in the grass if you can. Another thing is temperature change. So if you're nice and warm in your home, but maybe it's cold where you are, just step outside for a minute. Breathe in the cold air. Stretching. This is one of my favorites because I know I said it before in a podcast, but I tend to hold a lot of my stress in my shoulders and in my jaw. So, stretching allows me to relieve some of the tension that I've been carrying. Movement, go for a walk. If you can't be outside because it's cold, walk up and down some steps or walk the length of your house a few times. Run in place, do some jumping jacks, do some yoga, uh, and then breathe without counting. So I have been working so hard for, geez, more than a decade now on breathing exercises and different things like that. And often for me, all it takes is for me to close my eyes and take my first deep breath, and like my nervous system kind of catches the drift. Like, okay, we're taking a moment here and we're calming down. And it's pretty instantaneous for me at this point because I've been practicing it for so long. And sometimes it's not even like the counting, it's just recognizing your breathing, right? Like just feeling it and being there within it. It doesn't need to be complicated. If you're a parent listening to this, especially of older kids, I know the fear feels different. You can be proud of who they are and still be terrified at the same time. Both can exist. Loving kids who will stand up in the world means that you feel the weight of it more deeply. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you connected. I don't have all the answers today, and I'm not here to tell you how this ends, but I do want you to hear this. If you are struggling right now, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human in a moment or timeline that is genuinely hard. You don't have to carry it all today. You don't have to make sense of everything. You don't have to finish the thought. You are not crazy for feeling this way. You're you're responding to the world as it is through your perspective, and that matters. If this episode helped you feel a little less alone, I'm really glad you're here. And if today feels heavy, please be gentle with yourself. Someday doesn't have to be solved. Sometimes it has to be survived. I'd really appreciate it if you share this episode with someone who you think might also need it, and follow along on your favorite listening source. And I will see you in the next episode. Please take care of yourself.